The Society of Jesuits. The Society of Jesus was created between 1538 and 1540 in a historic moment in which a profound spiritual revival came to Europe. The Society of Jesus was founded thanks to the initiative of Ignacio López Loyola. Strange and fairly controversial Saint Ignacio was born in Loyola, Basque Country, in 1491. He received a poor and elementary education, but with a strong religious base. He was dedicated to the army. He loved reading books on chivalry and knighthood. These books made him dream of grandeur. In 1521, at age 30, his life was changed drastically. After he had been wounded in the siege of Pamplona against the French, Ignacio had a long and painful rehabilitation. During this time he read the Flos Sanctorum, Exemplary Lives of Saints, the Vita Christi by Rodolfo of Saxony, and the Imitation of Christ by Thomas Kempis. These books, along with his affection for knighthood, led him to draft a new gallant ideal, the Knight of Christ, a knight in God's name. And according to this ideal, he decided to leave his old life behind. He left for the Holy Land. Taking his pilgrimage to Montserrat, he changed his clothes with a beggar and became a recluse. Finally, he went to Jerusalem with the task of converting non-Christians in the Holy Land. He returned to Spain later, and in 1525, wanting the greater intellect he felt he needed to become a Knight of Christ, he started teaching Latin grammar to children in school. 2 years later, in 1527, he enrolled at the University of Alcalá, in those times the most important university in Spain. After that he travelled to Paris. He signed up to the Sorbonne University. During this period he finished outlining his idea, the Society of Jesus. While he was there in Paris, he met Pedro Fabro, Francisco Javier, Diego Lainez, Alfonso Salmerón, and many others. These men would later be the future pillars of the company. This group was not interested in the difficult struggle against Protestantism, and they concentrated on a different direction, promoting and taking their ideals east, converting infidels. This ideal supplied them with great motivation, and gathering one evening in Montmartre, they made vows of poverty and chastity and decided to go to the Holy Land. However, the project failed, so they decided to go to Rome, where they joined the Pope's service. Although they were known under the name of Society of Jesus in 1538, the institutionalization of the new order didn't occur until 2 years after, when the Pope Paul III approved the order. The Jesuits have presence today in 112 countries, over 6 continents, firstly in Europe and then Asia, where Saint Francisco Javier went, co-founder of the company who first arrived in Goa. Later they arrived to Latin America decades after Columbus's discovery. After they showed up in Africa, the first Jesuit to arrive in Africa was Pedro Páez in Ethiopia. The current Pope is a Jesuit, becoming the very first Jesuit Pope in 2013.